Do you keep telling yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," but never do? Days turn into weeks and weeks into years. As Miyamoto Musashi said, delaying is a silent defeat. In this video, you'll learn how to stop waiting, break the habit of delaying, and start taking strong action right now before life passes you by. Step 1. Start before you feel ready. A big lie that many people tell themselves is, "I'll start when I'm ready." Being ready may sound like being responsible, but most of the time it's just fear hiding behind a nice face. Miyamoto Musashi never waited until he was set to act. It was clear to him that being ready is not something you feel, but something you build by doing things. Musashi lived with a lot of doubt. There was a chance of dying in every duel and war. He would not have drawn his sword if he had waited until he was sure of everything. He trained his mind to keep going even when he had doubts. If you want to stop waiting and start acting, you need to put this into your thoughts. You stop living when you wait to feel ready. You slow down growth. You put off learning. You put off getting bigger. Action, even if it's not perfect, teaches you more than planning all the time. Musashi thought that the only way to really understand something is to go through it yourself. You can't learn by just thinking. The sense of safety is broken when you start before you're ready. It forces you to face the truth. And that fight makes you stronger. Fear doesn't go away before you do something. It goes away after you do something. Every step you take forward makes fear less powerful over your mind. A lot of people think trust is the most important thing. That's not what Musashi taught. Having confidence comes from doing things over and over again while under pressure. Being present when it's hard builds your confidence. Waiting makes doubt stronger. Getting going early also helps. Moving changes your mind from being resistant to thinking about how to solve problems. You should ask, "How do I improve?" instead of, "Can I?" This change is strong. It changes fear into focus. Musashi wrote that a fighter must give their all and not hold back. You choose to grow when you start before you're ready. You're okay with flaws. You pick growth over ease. Making that choice can change your whole life. Step 2. Shrink the first step. Tasks that feel too big often make people wait. The mind stops moving when it sees a rock. Miyamoto Musashi knew this and put a lot of effort into the basics. He thought that small, repeated actions, not big, overwhelming efforts, were the best way to gain control. When you shrink the first step, you make the action so small that putting it off is no longer an option. You say, "I will take one small step today," instead of, "I will change my life." You don't wait to finish everything. Instead, you start with something that you can handle. How to stand, hold, and move. These weren't exciting, but they had to be done. He believed that small acts done every day would lead to great things. In your life, the same rule applies. Least pushback comes from making the first step smaller. The mind stops being scared. It's safe to act. Most of the time, momentum takes over once you start. But even if it doesn't, you still win because you did something. Small steps help you stay consistent. Integrity creates a sense of self. You stop seeing yourself as someone who puts things off over time and start seeing yourself as someone who makes progress every day. What a powerful personality shift this is. Being too busy makes waiting more fun. Overwhelm is broken down by small actions. Musashi thought that getting involved leads to understanding. The path becomes clearer when you participate, even if only for a short time. You don't have to be a hero. You need action that is honest. Make the steps smaller. Start now. Step 3. Decide once, act daily. A lot of people get tired of making the same choices every day. Should I go to work today? Should I give it another shot? This thought repetition wears you down and makes you want to wait. Miyamoto Musashi put practice above feeling. He thought choices should be made before they were put into action. When you decide once, you commit to a course of action ahead of time. When you act every day, you have to stick to your choice no matter how you feel. This gets rid of inner conflict. Your talks with yourself are over. Musashi worked out every day, not because he was always driven, but because he was very disciplined. But he didn't ask how he felt. He just went on his way. Life is easier when you make up your mind only once. Actions happen on their own. There is no question, so waiting loses its power. Compounds for daily use. When small actions are repeated, they add up to big changes. Musashi knew this very well. He had faith in the process. This step helps you trust yourself more. Every time you do something, you show yourself that you can be. It's normal for confidence to grow. Choose once. Do something every day. Let determination take the place of doubt. Step 4. Trade perfection for progress. One of the most sneaky ways to keep people waiting is to promise perfection. It sounds good. It sounds like discipline. In fact, though, perfection is often just fear that looks like high standards. Miyamoto Musashi never tried to be great in the way that most people think of it. He was after efficiency. He knew that you don't win in life by doing everything perfectly, but by moving decisively and making changes all the time. Many people put things off until they are just right. The perfect plan, the perfect time, the perfect result. They think it will be safe to act once everything is perfect. That's not what Musashi taught. He thought it was risky to hold on to perfect form while ignoring real situations. When you were fighting, waiting for perfection meant you missed the moment. It's a waste of time in real life. Imperfections are necessary for progress. When you act, your weaknesses become clear. You do wrong things. You learn what doesn't work. That being said, this is not failure, it's feedback. Musashi thought that the only way to grow was to face truth head-on, not to try to avoid it. Every move that isn't perfect makes you smarter. Each mistake makes your way better. You get stuck in your head when you try to be perfect. You get to know the real world as you make progress. Musashi told people not to think too much because thinking without doing anything drains energy. Doing something, even if it's wrong, makes things clearer. When you move, you learn things that you couldn't have learned by planning. Perfectionism can also make you base your sense of self-worth on how well you do. You feel like you've failed if it's not perfect. Musashi didn't judge himself by how many times he won, but by how well he trained and showed up. He focused on giving it his all, not on pleasing other people. If you think this way, you won't be afraid of being judged. Making progress also builds speed. You keep going when you let yourself move forward however you want. Waiting stops progress before it even starts. Musashi had a deep understanding of rhythm. He thought that moving forward was more important than doing everything correctly all the time. Giving up perfection for growth means letting yourself learn in public, fail forward, and get better over time. It means putting growth ahead of your ego. You no longer ask, is this perfect? But rather, is this moving me forward? This change is strong. It changes doubt into action and fear into knowledge. Musashi's life shows that skill is not something you get all of a sudden, but something you work on all the time. In order to make progress, you have to give up waiting for the best time and start making plans for the future right now. Step 5. Cut distractions ruthlessly. Distraction, which can look like harmless things like looking through your phone or watching videos, is a big reason why people don't do anything. Miyamoto Musashi thought that having a scattered mind was a big flaw and stressed that thinking without order is what stops people from being successful. He thought that where your attention goes, your life follows. That's why he pushed for full presence in everything, whether you were practicing or just watching. Distractions waste time and make it harder to focus, keep going, and respect yourself. Musashi's theory says that getting rid of distractions is important, not to take away pleasure but to make things clearer. To do this, you have to consciously get rid of things that get in the way of your goals. He planned his life so that discipline came before temptation. People today can do the same thing by making settings that help them focus, like turning off notifications and reducing the number of possible distractions. When you first take away all the distractions, you might feel uncomfortable. But silences can be heavy, and boredom may come up. Musashi agreed that getting past this kind of pain is necessary for success. As the number of distractions decreases, obstacles may appear, providing chances for growth and encouraging real action. Dependence on constant stimulation makes people less resilient, which makes even small jobs feel hard. By getting rid of distractions, people can improve their mental toughness, which will make it easier for them to stay focused. Musashi supported a disciplined way of paying attention, stressing that each choice to concentrate instead of being distracted gives you back control over time, energy, and eventually, what will happen in the future. Step 6. Act on resistance, not comfort. A significant number of individuals hesitate to take action until they feel comfortable or inspired, yet comfort often leads to stagnation. Miyamoto Musashi recognized that true growth occurs during challenges, prompting him to train in tough conditions and embrace discipline over ease. He asserted that resistance is not a sign of failure but an indication of impending change. Thus, facing difficulties head-on sharpens the mind. Musashi advocated for using feelings of reluctance as a motivator for action rather than avoidance. When one feels fearful or hesitant, it's crucial to push through that resistance since it rarely dissipates on its own. Hesitation only amplifies fear and renders individuals more susceptible to inaction, while immediate action diminishes resistance's hold. Acting promptly transforms emotional struggles into focused tasks, shifting the mindset from internal conflict to productive engagement. The goal is not to exert overwhelming pressure on oneself, but to cultivate awareness and gradually confront discomfort. Small, deliberate steps can train the nervous system to view progress through adversity as a routine part of life, reducing the fear associated with resistance over time. So, engaging with resistance enhances self-respect and instills a sense of control. Musashi's strength stemmed not from arrogance but from conquering self-doubt. Comfort may be appealing, but it does not lead to achievement. To overcome inertia, one should not query, "Do I feel ready?" but instead, "Am I resisting?" If the latter is true, it's time to advance, as this signifies a robust path forward. Step 7. Create a when/then rule. The text discusses the tendency of individuals to procrastinate during challenging times, contrasting it with the proactive mindset advocated by Miyamoto Musashi. He trained to act decisively without hesitation, encapsulated in the when/then rule that automates responses to certain triggers, thus preventing internal conflict about starting tasks. For example, deciding to work for 2 minutes when motivation is lacking can prompt action. Musashi emphasized that successful fighters do not think during combat. Their preparation allows them to act instinctively, highlighting how hesitation can make one weak. The article posits that procrastination often stems from uncertainty, and the implementation of clear, automatic rules transforms one's approach from struggle to natural action. Musashi's philosophy argues that consistency leads to success, rather than intensity, making it unnecessary to wait for inspiration. Furthermore, the when/then framework aids in overcoming excuses, demonstrating that adherence to established rules fosters self-trust and reliability. Over time, action becomes habit, while inaction becomes increasingly uncomfortable. Overall, Musashi's belief in training the mind for decisive action encourages a shift towards proactivity, allowing individuals to act swiftly instead of deferring their intentions.